Okay. Hello, Kathleen. You are muted, Kathleen.
Oh, sorry about that. Hey, Kelsey, how are you?
It's good to see you again. How's things?
Things are going well, thank you. It's nice to see you too. It's
Good.
nice to see everyone's smiling faces.
Kathleen, this is the Leap In cohort. I know you've had a chance to check out their profiles, but here they are in virtual humanity, I guess we call them. So everyone say hello to Kathleen. Kathleen is here joining us from Shopify, which she's going to tell us a little bit about some of their services, the e-commerce capabilities, and let us know how Shopify can help entrepreneurs. So I know we kept you in the waiting room a little long, so I won't babble on for a long time. Kathleen, the floor is yours until noon. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, awesome. Thanks so much. So I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen. So I'll need to know if you're seeing the right thing. So I see a thumbs up there.
Looks good.
Very nice. All right. So I'm Kathleen, as Kelsey mentioned, and I am a community manager at Shopify. And today I'm going to talk to you all about selling with Shopify and how Shopify can benefit your business. But beforehand, in order for you to have like the best experience possible during our time together, if you are on a laptop or a computer, I just want to invite you to navigate up your mouse to the top, and you should see a drop down that says View Options. And if you can click this side-by-side mode, and once you've got that set up, you can slide in between the slide deck and then my face. So you can adjust that so the slide is about like 1/3 of the screen, and then I'll be beside it. And that's just going to make it more like we're together in real life, since we can't do so today. And then the other thing is, and you saw that I had a faux pas with that today, is I want you to feel free to hit the space bar and unmute yourself and ask questions throughout. So let's test that out. Does anyone know what this image is from? If you know, just unmute yourself and tell me what it is.
Hamilton?
Hamilton.
Yes, that's right. So this is a picture from Hamilton. And is anyone else here a Hamilton fan? Can I see a show of hands? Hey, Kelsey. That's the only person I'm seeing, and that's all right.
I will never be satisfied with how much I can watch Hamilton.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. And so I can't get the songs out of my head. So as I was preparing for our time together today, these particular lyrics came to my mind. The world has turned upside down. So right now, the world has turned upside down, hasn't it? As a result of the COVID crisis, the way we gather, the way that we learn, and the way that we're doing business has all changed. So I just wanted to take a quick moment before diving into everything to recognize you all for not only completing this accelerator program, but for doing so in a moment in time where the world did turn upside down. And while everyone was scrambling around trying to figure out what was happening, you persevered and went through it, and that is huge. So I just want to recognize you all for that. And in my role working with business owners, I've actually noticed 3 different traits of those that have been able to add value during this time. And I'd like to share them quickly with you. So I just heard like a doodle-doo-doo. I'm not sure what that was, but I'll keep going. All right. All right, so the first one is vulnerability. So businesses that were able to reflect and recognize that based on where their business is at right now and where the market is at, that they didn't have all the answers and needed to ask for support. that meant that had a big difference for them. So whether it was in the form of extra funds, extra time, maybe they needed some advice or some extra self-care, vulnerability is key. The next one is resourcefulness. So this is the ability to find quick and clever ways to be able to overcome difficulties. And then finally, there's adaptability. So the world turned upside down, right? So now is the time to adapt to this new landscape. So I've seen all sorts of folks using these 3 different traits, from restaurant owners who had to close their doors, and instead of just closing their doors, they recognized what they had available to them, which was fresh produce, and then became a delivery service and delivered fresh produce, selling it online, so that they could keep their business up and running. And then one of my favorite examples is from a local merchant that I've been working with here in London. And they took the bold step of actually pulling their products from a distributor and going B2C. So business to customer versus before where they were doing business to business. So with that pivot, what ended up happening was they tripled their profits. And in the last month, just this past July, they had their most profitable month in the whole 5 years that they've been in business. So they needed to show, the way I saw them show vulnerability was that they put themselves out there. They asked for support when they needed it. They were resourceful, and they tapped into their network and into the different groups that were available to them, like a no-cost free business coaching that Shopify provides. And then they also had to make themselves vulnerable again in order to adapt. They had to, pulling the distributor, like no longer going with the distributor is a big move, and they weren't sure what was going to happen. But they put themselves out there, and it ended up paying off for them. So I just wanted to share those things with you before we dived in. So today I'm going to be sharing with you a very quick intro to Shopify. Does anyone here use Shopify right now? Show of hands. You see Chris? It may just be Chris, and that's all right. That might change, who knows? Then I'm going to talk a little bit about the Shopify ecosystem and where your business might fit into that. And finally, I'll share some resources that can help you grow your business, and we can talk about some next steps. Go to the next slide here. So who am I? You know I'm Kathleen, I'm a local community manager, but who am I really? Well, I'm actually a Fanshawe grad, and went through Fanshawe for graphic design. I've been in the tech industry for over 15 years, and I actually started my career at Shopify in 2017 as a product designer. So I was working on the actual product, the interface. And throughout my year, prior to doing community management, I was a designer. And so I worked for global brands such as Shopify, Canada Life, and through my work with different agencies, I've also had the opportunity to work with 3M General Mills Steel. I'm also a founder of Ladies.ux here in London, the London chapter. I'm also a small business owner myself. So I do graphic design consulting, and I'm also a professional organizer. So my professional organizing business is called Your Organizer Kathleen, and it's powered by Shopify, of course. And some random facts about me. I was born and raised here in London. I left for about 2 years, and I'm back, and I'm really happy to be here. I love retro video games and pixel art. So if anyone else is into that, that's awesome. Share links with me or something like that, because I'd love to check it out. And my all-time favorite sitcom is Frasier. And I forgot to mention, I like, my pronouns are she, her. And what do I do? So I connect local businesses to each other, partners, and to Shopify. So I'm kind of helping connect all these folks together. I provide business strategy coaching, and I also host workshops and events locally. And the next thing is, why am I doing it? Well, the world needs more successful local business owners. And at Shopify, we believe that entrepreneurs need to feel confident in launching, growing, and managing their business in order to find success. So everything that I do in my role, the underlying theme is I'm trying to help you find success, because your success is our success. So Shopify, if you aren't aware, it's a platform where merchants can sell anything to anywhere. We have a pretty straightforward mission. It's to make commerce better for everyone. Merchants, buyers, partners, etc. Everyone in that Shopify ecosystem. And as part of that, my job is to make commerce better for everyone locally in the London area. So Shopify is for dreamers or for large corporations. Like, regardless of the size of your business, Shopify is able to power it. And our goal, as I mentioned, is really to help you succeed. When you succeed, we succeed. It's a beautiful business model to be able to have that. So there's over 1 million merchants in over 175 countries on Shopify. And since I've been with the company in 2017, I've really seen it quadruple in size, which has been pretty awesome. This is just a quick snapshot of all the different brands that you can find on Shopify. So as I mentioned, we do support businesses of all sizes. You'll see makers selling out of their basement, all the way to brands like L'Oreal and Tesla. And just a little quick synopsis of our origin story. So Shopify started in 2006. Our CEO now, Toby, he saw an opportunity and began the dream to make that happen. So the very first Shopify store was Snow Devil. He was developing a website to sell snowboards and found that he couldn't find a very good platform to build that site. So Toby, being the programmer and problem solver that he is, he decided to make his own platform for that. So with that, this company is completely merchant driven. So since Toby himself was looking for a way to sell, merchants are at the center of our mission statement and every goal we look to achieve. So we're a very hyper-focused merchant-driven company because our founder was a merchant himself, and you'll find that many people working at Shopify are also merchants. So Chris is going to know all about this, so sorry that this might be recap for you, Chris, but for anyone else, if you're interested in Shopify, the first thing that you can do is just head over to shopify.com and you can start a 14-day trial. It just takes a couple minutes to do. Then once you actually land in there and you've logged in and everything, you're going to find yourself in the admin as pictured here. This is basically your home base for your business. So from here, you can modify your theme if you have an online store. You can add your products, view and fulfill orders, view reports, and so many other things. So from launch to like your 100th sale, the admin helps you run your business. So let's talk about products in Shopify. It's not just physical products that you can sell. So we also have are built in a way that digital goods and services can also be sold. There's a variety of different apps that can be added to Shopify that expand its functionality, and they also can help you protect your property and content. As I mentioned, if you have an online store, because there's different plans, so you can actually choose to only get the buy button and maybe insert the buy button into an existing website. But if you're looking for an online store, we have free themes that you can use to start out with. And then in our theme store, there's over 100 themes. So when you go into the theme store, you'll find free and paid themes. And they're very customizable, and I think they're pretty awesome. But I guess I'm kind of biased. And then there's sales channels. So a lot of people that I've talked to who aren't familiar with Shopify have often been like, whoa, I didn't realize it did all that. Shopify, you can kind of think of it like a platform, and it allows you to sell on different sales channels. So as time goes on and different technology emerges, and who knows, maybe one day we're not using websites anymore and we're using VR or something to shop. Shopify is built for that and can just kind of build on top of it, versus other websites that are actually built just to be online stores. So it allows you to sell anywhere. And so even though our roots are in e-commerce, we also enable you to be able to sell through all these different multiple channels. So with that being said, some of these channels, you might have to, they might have like eligibility requirements that you have to meet before you can actually enable them. But I thought that that would be a pretty important thing to highlight here, that Shopify is not just for websites. It's for selling wherever your customers are, whether that's in person, on social media, etc. So Shopify POS, so that's point of sale, this is a product that can help you sell in person. Whether you do that occasionally or at pop-ups, it's actually become really important right now for those that are doing curbside pickup and want to have like contactless payment. If the person wasn't able to pay through online means, maybe they don't have an online store, the person's able to come out and have them just use the chip reader to pay, and it's contactless. So it's pretty great. And what happens here when you use Shopify POS, it's going to enable you to have all of your information in one place once you do, if you do end up deciding to branch out and use the different sales channels. It's basically, Shopify can kind of be like a hub where all of your orders and products are, and you can have people order them through different means. Now, the other thing that I had mentioned to you is apps. So apps are, if you've ever used WordPress or anything like that, other websites, they usually call these like widgets. Apps are developed by third-party people, as well as some are developed by Shopify. And they're basically bits of code that you can like add to your site to enhance the functionality that Shopify offers in your store. So we'll talk a little bit more about that later on. We are getting near the end, but with Shopify, we also have a really extensive help center. So a lot of times people are able to just come here to the help center and basically troubleshoot if they were not sure how to set up something. We have great guides in here. So I guess that's for Chris to know. And then we also have 24/7 support, regardless if you're on Shopify. Maybe it's something that you're interested in. You can call into our support center and ask your questions. The other thing is, since so many of our folks that work at Shopify are merchants themselves, they not only provide tech support, but they also provide business coaching. So if you're ever looking for a website audit or something like that, you can call into Shopify and our customer support can look into that stuff for you. Next is the ecosystem. So as you can see here, Shopify is in the center, and there are 3 different people around it, or groups of people. There's the merchants, there's the partners, and there's the buyers. And the reason I'm bringing this up to your group is because I've noticed that some of you are tech entrepreneurs. And so, maybe you're not in the retail space, but there may be an opportunity for you with Shopify as a partner. So Shopify has 3 different types of partners. There's developers. So those are the folks that provide those apps that integrate with Shopify. The second is agencies. So these are people that might do SEO, so search engine optimization, or maybe they decide I can think of one here in London called Northern. So they provide building the site for you, doing marketing and branding and things like that. And then there's affiliates. So affiliates are often merchants who love the platform so much, and they have an audience that would benefit from Shopify. So they become an affiliate and share their affiliate links. And anytime someone signs up using that link, they'll get a commission for it. And it'll be at no cost to the person that's using that affiliate link. So that was a bit about the Shopify ecosystem. You might fit into being a merchant, you might fit into being a partner, you might fit into being both. And who knows, maybe at your point in your business right now, you're not going to be a merchant or a partner. You're very likely a buyer, because probably stores that you're buying from online are powered by Shopify. I see we're getting near the end, so here are those resources I had promised you. So this is Shopify Compass. So if you go to shopifycompass.com, this is where you can go to get, at no cost to you, you don't need to have a Shopify store. You do need to have a Shopify account though, so you'll have to log in and create that. And you'll get on-demand courses. These are premium level courses, everyone. These are not only courses that are for people that use Shopify, though, Shopify is the backbone of what these folks are talking about when they're training. But this is for things like business, and you can see at the side here, marketing and sales, store design, sourcing products and things like that. Along with Shopify Compass, there's also live webinars that will be hosted. So you can join them, join the chat and ask questions while it's happening, or you can tune into the recording. And there's also guided learning paths. So currently there's 2 paths. There's a path for those who maybe had an in-person business, but we're not yet online. And then there's a path for those that are brand new to business and just want to dive in and start building an online presence. And then the next resource is Shopify London. So that's me, that's my role. This is also a no-cost service provided by Shopify. I offer one-on-one coaching, as well as live workshops and events. And we just launched a free local online community. So if you go to shopifylondon.ca, I did .ca because often people get confused with London, England. So go to shopifylondon.ca and you can see all of our latest programming and things of that nature. So thank you for listening and your time and all of that wonderful stuff. I think there might be some time for questions. And if anything, at the end of the day, what I'm hoping your next move will be is to book a one-on-one with me today. So this afternoon, I understand there's a time frame in which you can pick to have one-on-ones. Regardless of your business and how you think it fits into Shopify, booking some one-on-one time with me, we can explore it and see what makes sense. Because Shopify isn't for everyone, and when I notice that, I'll be the first to say it. One of the things that I do here as a community manager is also just make those connections locally. So for example, working with somebody named Grace, they have they're a socialpreneur. They don't use Shopify, but I've met with them and have been able to connect them to the Covent Garden Market. And so they were doing pop-up shops there. So just like little connections like that. So I welcome you to come have a one-on-one with me and let's see what value we can add to your business together. So that is everything that I had to share. Are there any questions?
Thanks, Kathleen.
You're welcome.
Just because we are short on time, I am going to have you all refer your questions to Kathleen offline, and I'll share her email, and if she'd be kind enough to share this presentation with us, we can post that so that you can refer it back to it. And so please consider booking a meeting with Kathleen either this afternoon or another time if maybe a Shopify store is kind of on your near horizon and you want to get a couple things sorted out before you take that step. That's also fine. Kathleen's around and we really enjoy working with her. And I just want to reiterate how important it is to have a sales solution where you can sell online and in person. And if Shopify is the answer for that for you, then that's a really great way to go, because you don't, especially for those of you that sell products, you don't want to sell out of something on one platform and then also sell it on another platform and be sold out. That's a problem we've had many people run into. So Shopify is a good solution for that. So with that, thank you so much for joining us, Kathleen. We're sorry to shove you out the door this quickly, but everybody wave, say thank you so much to Kathleen for joining us. And
thanks everyone, appreciate your time, and congratulations on finishing the program.
Thank you very much. We'll hope to see you soon.
Yeah.
Bye. How are you all doing?